He's digging in and the elbows are set in. The problem for Kyle is that there's nothing stopping me from sitting up. But the problem with sitting up slowly is that it creates a lot of pressure on my ankle. So on my crossed leg. So as he's digging in, if I just start to sit up, by the time I sit up, boom, the guard opens. That's what he wants. So we're going to use our arms and we're going to swing them up, swing them above my head, and I'm coming up in a hustle. When we come up, my goal is to come up to his shoulder and headbutt his shoulder. Not really what I did, but I just did. So we're going to come up to his shoulder and C-clamp my hands. When we C-clamp, the hands that, I like to say that the hand that is long, which in this case is my right arm. So my right arm is opposite of my head. That is generally the hand that's going to be facing down. Okay? This hand is going to face up. This hand is going to be facing me or down. If I was to grab this way, it would face down. That's also a very nice general rule that you could keep in mind. When you guys are locking grips, this is a bit off tangent, but it's a great concept to think about. When you're locking grips from the feet, from the floor, if you have a long arm, I call it a long arm. It's not even longer than this one, but it's the arm opposite of your head. It is not always, but generally, it's a good idea if that hand faces down or sometimes away, if I go C-clamp. So if I had then over under clinch, and this was on the feet, we're going to stay on the knees just for the purpose of the video, and I want to lock my over under clinch, it is a good idea that my long arm stays down, in this case a little bit of away until you turn it, and then it'll be down. It's a very good idea. If I'm passing butterfly guard, and I have butterfly guard, and I'm choosing a body lock style pass, it is a good idea if my long arm opposite of my head stays facing down rather than facing up. Okay? This is no different when I'm in this guard scenario. His elbows are dug in deep. If I come up to this side, my hand's gonna stay facing away from me, which would actually sort of be down, away or down, and that's gonna give my arms, my grip, a much stronger advantage. We shake our legs, we bring Kyle in. I can easily now go to the head of the elbow and begin moving my hips. On this second one, sometimes you'll get the luxury of having someone naively put their hand so deep that it almost hurts his wrist. So there's a very small chance that when you come up and you bring him down, that you may actually be able to submit someone with a cow hand. This is a possibility. It's just pretty rare, but it does happen. And if you feel it, you can take advantage of it because this sets up a cow hand and it also sets up a very easy Kimura. So bringing the elbows out. Let's go through a couple different angles. So we get here, stage one, his elbows just set in. I get the hands back and we shake. We bring our knees in, his hands go to the ground. I'm able to collect his head, and now we go into our various guard positions. Stage two, deep. It's deep. I can't get the hands in there. I don't have much more time, so we take our hands over our head and come up to the side. We still shake the legs. That's so important that we shake the legs. And then I'm gonna get his head, and we're gonna move off and angle off to the side. One thing with pummeling, you hear it time and time again, or posture, I would say. It's pretty safe to say that controlling someone's head is safe to say that it's the best way to control somebody's posture. Now, once you pull their head down, I can control his posture with overhooks and with over wraps of the legs. What I would say, maybe the Williams wrap, like I said that in the beginning of the video, a Williams wrap might be a more technical way to define this guard. But whether it's that or an overhook, you can hold someone for a while, but you ultimately will lose control of their posture eventually. One way that you can maintain someone's postural control is to pull his head down. If we all know that our spine is attached to our head all the way up here in the back of his head. If I'm pulling Kyle's head down, well, it's very difficult to make his posture. If your head gets pulled down and you are more forward than your hips, the only way to get your head back straight is to alleviate that and regain your posture, or get your hips lower and under your head. In this case, if my head is down, I can't bring my hips any lower and under my head to make my spine straight. In a case where I was on my feet, if my posture was being brought down, I could easily get my hips under my head and regain some posture. But in a closed guard, you just can't do that. You can't go any lower and you can't come any forward because my legs are in the way. So again, good way to break elbows down of a very solid opponent. We'll look at two techniques of pummeling here together, because one is, we've already sort of looked at it. Remember, pummeling, one of our key components to having an actual good closed guard. We'll take a look at this from a couple different angles. If my opponent is fairly naive and I can bring both arms in and use my legs, that's great. We put the hands on the mat and I'm able to get his head. Usually what happens is that I am able to secure his head in the beginning of being in the closed guard. It doesn't magically happen generally when we've put someone in a closed guard or jumped to the guard or recovered guard when he's passing or from cross-side. It generally doesn't happen that he's already in amazing posture with his hands on pushing me down. That usually doesn't happen. We'll usually have some time to get a hand around the neck and hit what my good friend calls an overtie. Okay? This is a position you're going to have to deal with a lot when you're pummeling, is that you're not going to be able to get your hand in on the first time. Pummeling is generally a two-stage process when we're talking about getting guys' arms on the side. So Kyle has both arms on the inside. He knows that that's a good position. He may have hands on biceps. He may have hands in the tendon of the arm. Something that's good for you guys to think about. If I have an overtie, there is no bicep. I mean, there is, but there's no bicep present, so that then his hand is gonna have to stay in the tendon of my armpit. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's go off tangent and take a look at why. This is huge, actually. This is a very important theme in guard in general. Okay, my hands should be monitoring his biceps and the inside. Okay, anywhere on the inside